No, you look like a regular white person. I I'm not used to regular white Larry. I just like, wait, just last weekend I'm like, you were my Papa Bear, and now today you're Steve from accounting or something, from Fox News or some mess.
Starting the recording.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of 1-1 Podcast. I am your host, as always, Larry the Bearded Wonder. With me, as always, is my sidekick, Eddie Magic Head Nestle Chocolate Wonder Ball V. What up, Eddie?
I lost my voice earlier this week and I'm still recovering. But hello, everybody.
All right. Well, we're going to keep you talking until you lose it again, just because I'm a sadistic asshole.
Yeah, pretty much.
Eddie, what have you been playing this week?
I finished Horizon Zero Dawn for PlayStation 4. I actually had a good conversation with one of my friends on Twitter, JR. You guys can check out his podcast, X to Jump podcast. It's like a PlayStation podcast. And we literally were just having a real good talk about it. And it ended up actually turning into a Zelda discussion. And unfortunately, he had to leave. But we was having a really good discussion. Me and you might have this discussion one day too. So yeah, Horizon I finished. Oh my goodness, I love you so much. Where did you find that at?
I'll tell you when you're done. Don't worry.
Oh my
and I know we've got no video this week, so it's audio only. So for everybody listening, I will tell you what the hell we're talking about or what I'm showing Eddie in just a minute. But yeah, Eddie, keep going. What you got?
Project X Zone 2 for 3DS. I'm still working on that, enjoying that game. Literally laughing out the dialogue. They still talk too much, but getting through fights and leveling up. Really enjoying that game. Mass Effect Andromeda. I'm getting through. Thought I was still done, like I said last time, but still making my way through that. I actually had to move my book stand so I can put my Xbox One and PS4 games up there. But I'm about to get ready to do Mafia 3 and definitely hook up my Wii U this week and definitely get more to some Nintendo games for the console because I really want to finish Paper Mario Color Splash and Tokyo Mirage Session. Played a little bit
of... What the hell happened to finishing Metroid 2? You were almost out of August.
Yes. I think I'm gonna wait for Severance Returns. I'm sorry, Larry.
You gotta play it. You gotta have a point of comparison.
I know, but
dude, 3 hours. Come on.
I've been trying. Like, you know what? Dying over here. Sorry. I literally should have just sat by you and had you force me to play it while the Microsoft Gamescom thing was on.
Yeah, you could have finished it by the end of that stupid piece of shit.
Yeah, but then I was playing board games with you, which I have fun. Sorry I didn't return for the second game. I was like, I gotta get notes and stuff ready, set up. But I actually had fun playing Cards Against Humanity last week, and the other game that was super fun. Yeah, that was really fun. I know you said it was a 360 game.
360, yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't even look it up to see if they did it backwards compatible or anything for one. I probably got to check. But
I can find out while we're talking.
Yeah, it was a really cool game. Also, we're playing Ys Origins on PS4, getting that together. Like I said, I'm 1/4 way done, so just playing that. I think I'm jumping into Mafia 3 before this week, this Friday, because hopefully I'm going to be picking up Hellblade and Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. I'm gonna pick up those two before I pick up Destiny 2 that following Tuesday. And then Samus Returns, and then go on my trip to Ohio. So just playing a lot of games, getting stuff ready, doing some other podcast recording, but yeah, and then I'll jump back into my Xbox One to finish some games up, cause I have Far Cry 4 for my Xbox One, and I kind of want to catch up what I did on PS3, and I kind of want to really beat that game, so that's what I actually been playing and what I've been planning to do.
Right on. Okay, so I can confirm Carcassonne is Xbox One backwards compatible.
Ah, cool. Is
I'm,
it?
I'm staring at it right now.
Did they make a physical copy of it or just digital?
No, it's digital only. It
It's
was
digital.
Live Arcade.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then I'll have to check that out. I'll have to pick it up.
Yeah, I think it's only like $10 max.
Oh, nice.
But even the actual hard copy of the board game is not that expensive. You spend maybe like $25 on it.
Yeah,
and that comes with 2 expansions.
There is a game shop in Chicago, or that might sell it, or I probably got to go to Schaumburg like I would feel. But if I go to Schaumburg, I'm gonna end up at like the sushi place, Cinnabon. I'll end up there.
We got a couple of shops around here too. If next time you're in town, I'll take you over.
Oh, well, you're coming to my town in October for the Blue October concert.
Yep, that's going to be a one night. That's literally there and back. We're not even staying overnight. So,
are you taking that day off, or are you working early that morning?
I'm taking the day.
Oh, okay. Hopefully,
we'll end up leaving early. We'll make the stop in Rosemont to hit up Fogo, and then get to the show. And we've got meet and greet passes and all that good stuff. So.
I was going to be like, maybe at the McDonald's in front of the hills before you hit Libertyville. But seeing what time I work that day, because they're now thinking of putting me overnight. I'm like, are you serious? But I'll let everybody know how that's going to go in the future. But yeah, Larry, what you been up to? Oh, quick question. Have you heard of a game called Measures of Mysteria or something like that?
What is it?
Measures of Mysterious, or it's some game on PS4 that came to Xbox One. It's like a top-down RPG in a way.
The name sounds vaguely familiar, but I couldn't place it right off the top of my head.
Well, yeah, I'll find it. Everybody, I apologize for the wrong name. I'm thinking of getting it for 1. I know it's on 4, but I'm into Undertale. I want to get that for 4, and I want to get the Measures one for 1.
Yeah. So what have I been playing? I've been playing The Sims IRL. It has been nothing but trying to keep my house from burning down all week.
Oh, wow.
Okay, it's a little overdramatic, but basically it's been a lot of housekeeping all week, just trying to deal with one minor crises after another. So it's been a busy week, and there's been little of any time to actually relax. Like the little bit of downtime that I had wasn't even entirely downtime.
Mm-hmm.
So it's me doing slightly lesser things while I've got something dorky on in the background. So I've been playing catch up on a couple of TV shows while I've got the opportunity. So I've been trying to catch up on some of my DC stuff. Oh, Jesus. The hell?
Yeah.
There we go. Fix that. So yeah, mostly been trying to catch up on Legends of Tomorrow.
I haven't watched that yet. I haven't started it yet. And the Defenders, I haven't started.
Yeah, I am way, way backed up on my Marvel stuff. I'm only like a season behind on all my DC stuff.
Hmm.
Um, honestly, as much as I liked the first season of Daredevil, the second season lost me halfway through. And I really liked the first season of Jessica Jones, but I just haven't brought myself to start the other Marvel shows like
Uh-huh.
Luke Cage and Iron Fist and Defenders as a result. But um, the DC stuff, like I liked a lot of the first couple seasons of Arrow. Arrow's gotten obnoxiously dark, and I haven't watched any of the last season yet. I haven't watched any of the last season of Flash. And as the last season of all the DC stuff went up, the first thing I jumped on was Legends, which I know seems to be everybody's least favorite, but
Hmm.
honestly, and I know I'm in the minority here. Legends had my favorite character out of the Arrowverse at this point, which they killed him at the end of last season, but Leonard Snart, Captain Cold, I thought was probably the best character out of the Arrowverse. He had probably he was the most dynamic character who actually had like any real growth as a character in his writing.
Hmm.
Um, and I greatly appreciated that. Not to mention, even from the get go, even though he was an asshole with scruples. So,
Wow.
well, no, I mean it too, because because he started out with the Flash as one of the villains, and
Yes.
here was a villain that had no superpowers either. He just had the cold gun. But the thing is he was not really a murderous asshole. He was just a thief. He liked being a thief, and he eventually he had a sit down with Barry, and they struck a deal. Said, all right, here's the deal. You don't kill anybody, and I leave you the hell alone. You go on stealing shit. As long as you don't kill anybody, I won't throw your ass in jail. And Snart said, deal. And he actually stuck to it, too. That's the thing. So, I mean, he's a villain, and he's an asshole.
Uh-huh.
I mean, he is a flat out asshole, but he's got scruples, to a degree. Like, he's got some sense of honor of sorts.
Yeah.
And on top of that, he then picked up his buddy Mick Rory, the arsonist, who, for all intents and purposes, is basically a straight thug. As much as Snart was kind of the snarky, tormented, brooding thief, Mick was a meathead and he was a thug, but he was funny. He was kind of the comic relief to Snart's over dramatic. But the best stuff for Snart happened when he left the Flash and went off with Legends, and you could see him starting to grow as a character, because there would be instances where he's like, look, I may not like any of you, but you know what? You're still my team, and I'm the only one that gets to fuck with you. So,
Wow.
and
Well, yeah.
come the end where he actually sacrificed himself for everybody else, and now this season, Mick is starting to experience some of that character growth, where he's becoming slightly less and less of a not a team player. He's becoming just a little bit less of a prick. And it's funny because he's kind of conflicted about it too. But that's, honestly too, I wish more games had writing that solid. That's one of the things that it feels like a lot of games do not spend nearly enough time on good, solid character development when it comes to their writing.
Well, I think it depends on the genre. And
Look at that! I
what's
brought
going
it home, dude. Segway.
Wow.
Holy shit! God, that was good.
Well, I guess we'll just have that as our topic. Because, I mean, the writing in games has kind of shifted. And it kind of now actually depends on the player on what they want from that writing when it comes to characters, story, and things of that nature. And it feels like, the best writing that when it comes to any video game started out really is role playing games, because those games are heavily on story, on the narrative. So the writing
Yeah.
kind of have to be strong for that whole story to carry. Now, we don't care about the writing in Call of Duty. Like if we got a
You
serious,
know, I do.
but I'm like if we got uh a serious tone of writing and stuff and emotional acting and everything, that would kind of contradict all the shooting that we're doing in the game. You
Not
know,
necessarily.
well, think about it. Like, how deep of a story does Call of Duty need to be that people are
Well,
going to really be impacted by its writing? We with Call of Duty, we got so numb to it with the multiplayer, the gameplay, and all the shooting and stuff that we laugh at anything of that they do writing wise or cinematic wise. Like the pressing X to lay down the flag or pay your respects. Like people were like laughing at that, making gifs of it. So, a lot of people don't expect Call of Duty to be about any of its writing. They expect it to be run and gun shooting.
mm, maybe, but by the same token, think about when they do something significant with their writing. Like, think back to Modern Warfare 2.
Mm-hmm.
There was all that ruckus about that one chapter where you were mowing down civilians in the airport.
Yes.
You
But that
know,
but that was optional. And I think because of at the time there was so much of a terrorist attack in America and just all that kind of stuff, people were thinking that Activision was going well, not Activision, Respawn,
Infinity Ward.
Infinity Ward, yeah. Infinity Ward was going for shock value than it was to actually like tell something very narrative to make us think and take a moment for a sec. Like, I think if Tales of Fallujah of Konami would allow that developer to bring that game out, I think we would have been able to talk more, since that was kind of based on a real life event. With Call of
See,
Duty,
it didn't feel like shock value to me in Call of Duty. It felt like it was part of the story that they were telling. It didn't feel shoehorned to me.
well,
And
I think it felt.
the only reason it was optional was because there was so much ruckus about it that they said, okay, we will give you the option to skip it, but it is part of the story. It is part of the narrative.
But it was funny that you were able to walk into the airport where guns are violently they were being seen, and no one in the audience is reacting to it.
Mm, I don't know. It's
And plus, Call of Duty was jumping around, but Battlefield did that too. When the story in the games, they jump around to actually make that part of the level.
mhm.
And I think that's what happened with Modern Warfare 2, is that it jumped around. So when it did come to that airport part, I'm like, what purpose did it actually serve for its narrative?
Yeah. Well,
So, I mean, I think if any kind of writing in a first person shooter, I still give it to Titanfall 2 with the story and the writing in there, because the writing in that game shows the bond between the Titan and your main character, where something like Metroid Prime, where if you want the story, you scanned it to get it. It was optional, but it was a cool effect to, if you scan it, you learn more of the story and the background for it.
what about the writing to something like BioShock?
The writing of Bioshock, um,
I would say especially the first one, because that's the one where it really felt like, granted you had the non-speaking protagonist,
Uh-huh.
but in dealing with Atlas, Ryan Fontaine, all that, it really felt like you got some development in those characters.
Yes,
They
that I agree.
managed to build them up from being just kind of this nebulous thing into something spectacular, and they did it little by little to where you didn't notice it happening
Hmm.
until you essentially got to the end, and then all of a sudden, boom, you're like, fuck me, we're like miles away from where we started.
Yeah, I agree with you on that point. I think the writing in BioShock, I think it's good for a sci-fi setting and making it feel kind of old timey in a sense. Like everything, all the writing in there made that world very believable, and definitely with the character backgrounds. The gameplay was kind of basic, but writing wise, I think the writing is strong in BioShock, and that's one thing I would definitely give that game for. Is the writing? It's you could take it and make it an animated movie, or you could actually take it and make it into a real life movie. You have to find a really good director who could do that. But that's like almost a sci-fi movie, like a sci-fi thriller that you could sit down and actually watch and enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay, how do you feel about the writing to something like Dead Space?
because I
Do you
didn't
think it? Do you feel like the writing to Dead Space and the character development in Dead Space stacks up to that of the likes of, say, Bioshock?
know because they're two different things. I think Dead Space is more B movie material, like straight.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's more straight to DVD um material as in its writing. Like
That
if
hurts.
I mean
Ouch.
it might hurt, but I think the writing like in Eternal Darkness is stronger than Dead Space in a manner.
Ooh. Mm.
It's stronger. I think because I think it's stronger in the sense that uh the cycle the psych uh the psychological thriller aspect, you know, the tone is told through its writing. So it makes you feel that, it makes you feel like you're reading a book or reading or in a movie or something. And Dead Space just kind of felt like, well, this is more of Aliens meets Resident Evil in space. So I'm not saying that the writing in Dead Space is bad, but it's not strong enough. It literally Dead Space could have been an animated movie, which I think it is, and
They
it
had a couple of animated companion pieces,
yeah,
yes.
it feels like it could be a straight to video DVD, and people really don't talk about the story thing in Dead Space, you know.
I would say they should, because honestly, Dead Space was a great commentary, especially on the likes of religion and religious zealousy, because that was a big driver in the huge fuck up that happened in Dead Space.
About see, re,
Because it was all about the blind faith of the Unitarians
oh
that
yeah.
led to the marker coming on board and fucking with everything.
But that's almost kind of like Final Fantasy X, that blind faith playing with religion or having some aspect close to religion, you know. And I was talking to Moose about this from NGR. And I kind of actually asked him. I'm just like, definitely with Far Cry 5 coming out next year, like how is Ubisoft going to tackle this religious cult? You know, because I feel like there's not a lot of games that deal with religion and don't have enough writing to tell something about religion. It always seems that when it deals with religion, it's still something evil, and it's whether it's really well, it's never related to the real Christian Bible here in America. There's always some kind of fake religion that the storytellers are, coming up with, or the writers, I should say.
I contest that statement. I'll pick out at least one right off the top of my head. I would hit on the Binding of Isaac for one, because the entire premise of the Binding of Isaac is based off of the story of Abraham.
Mm-hmm. But see, the Binding of Isaac, like, does it really have any kind of writing, like a narrative? Because you're mostly
right,
and I don't know if it's like it's telling it through just moving pictures, or it's pictures, and then it just throws you in to be shooting stuff. There's something about it that sorry about that. I think if it had more of a narrative for Binding of Isaac, I can agree, but it's kind of hard to tell. Because it feels like that is the premise, but it's pretty much, you're in an arena and you're shooting stuff. So don't worry about story.
Yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily story heavy per se,
mm-hmm.
but I would say too, I would venture to say that there are probably more out there than we realize, at least here on our side of the pond,
mm-hmm.
because you got to keep in mind there's so much religious content that gets edited out when it comes to the States.
Oh yeah,
in translation.
Xenosaga, or what was, I think
Dude,
it's
go back to the old original Final Fantasies.
I don't think that one had anything about religion.
Oh, dude, something as simple and basic as the fact that what were like churches
mm-hmm.
ended up getting replaced by what the hell was it? I want to say it was the hospitals, essentially.
Because even the Legend of Zelda,
healing.
The Legend of Zelda had well, actually, the Legend of Zelda 2 had like churches or synagogues. Castlevania 2 had churches in them. So I didn't play the regular Final Fantasy when it came out. I didn't jump into the series until 3 came out for Super Nintendo.
Yeah, but there's out there, but yeah, no, religion is definitely one of those topics that gaming seems to stay away from, and I think it's a shame because you could probably do a lot with it, really. I would almost venture to say, in a manner of speaking, God of War kind of hits on religion a little bit too.
Yeah.
I
think because God of War,
but at that point, you're mixing. You're talking semantics, whether you want to call it religion or mythology at that point.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
I'm sure I just pissed off somebody with that.
I mean, yeah, but you know what? I agree with you. I think I just didn't see nothing religious in it. I think because of the Greek setting and with all these mythological gods from mythology. So I think I seen it more like that.
But I mean, before it was mythology, it was religion.
That is true. You know what? Japan does a lot with religion, because Breath of Fire 3 kind of talks about God with and you actually fight God at the end, or some form of God. And it's not the Christian God, it's like this big female snake looking thing. And it's just like, wait, what? Like, you're beating up God? The reason why I said Xenosaga, or whatever that Xeno one that was for a PlayStation, the first one. What was
it?
Xenogears?
Xenogears, that sounds right.
Yeah. They had the little rabbit stuff on the cross.
Mm-hmm.
That was something that was kind of big. that I think it got edited out of in America. But I think religion in games and its writing, I think it needs to be tackled more. And I don't think it's meant to offend or anything. But I think it just needs to be tackled. Like,
Right. Side note: apparently, Eddie is dying of the plague.
I'm sorry, everybody.
Eddie caught the plague.
Oh no.
Correction, Eddie, you have died of dysentery.
Oh my goodness! I thought you were gonna. Oh my goodness! Oregon Trail, that game. They remade that one for like an indie game or something. For a computer. Like, what the
There's
hell?
an actual board game version of that too now.
What? Wait,
Dude, you
what?
can get Oregon Trail, the board game. I'm not kidding.
Are you serious?
Real thing.
When I come next time, you have to take me to come see this because I do not believe this. That is insane.
Dude, go look it up. It's on Amazon. You can get it.
Oh my goodness! I believe you. That is insane. But I think writing in games. I think now it's becoming strong. It's becoming better because of the technology, and the medium that we have with video games. They're able to express more. Even adventure games have changed in a way. Like, Telltale and stuff, like those kind of adventure games, that's heavily on text and hearing the dialogue, like that's big. So the writing
Telltale is the new text adventures.
Pretty much. Like that writing has to be good. I don't know so much about text adventures. I don't know if that's still around or people are still making them. But
if it is, it's somewhere buried deep in the indie scene. But
yeah,
it's not anywhere all that visible anymore. If it still exists, I'm sure somebody's doing one somewhere just for the novelty of going, yeah, I played text adventures when I was growing up. I want to make one, and you made it. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of glad they're gone. I played some text adventure games when I was a kid, and they were obnoxiously obtuse. It did not need to be. Plain and simple.
Like the logic didn't make sense or anything?
Yeah, no, it was a huge pain in the ass. It's like, okay, what is the exact correct word that you want me to fucking use? Because I can think of a whole lot of things, but you're assuming that I'm thinking exactly like you.
Yeah, I understand that. I can see that. Me, my thing was just like, it's on Nintendo. It's Mega Man 2. Slide that mug over, blow in the cartridge.
So I'm going to sidetrack for a minute because I did promise that we would talk about the shit that I found while I was cleaning the house today.
Go ahead.
So what I showed Eddie earlier, because like I said, and again, I'm sorry, we've got no video this week because Corey is in New York fucking around at the Nintendo World Store, and he didn't promise to bring anybody back souvenirs, that jerk. We miss you, Corey. Come back soon. We need video. In any case, so I was cleaning out my basement, and I found it was given to me a number of years ago. I got an old school metal Transformers lunchbox, and it's fully printed where, the stuff is raised on it. It's actually, indented out, and it's even still got the fucking thermos inside. I kid you not, dude. So it's Autobots on one side, and it is Decepticons on the other. It is awesome. But more exciting than that, I thought it was lost. Like, I thought it just vanished. And I squealed so hard when I found it. This was given to me a number of years ago. A friend of mine came across it working somewhere where books are their stock in trade, in particular the used variety. Mm-hmm. And he came across it and he snatched it up for me. But I have in my hands here an original 1994 Nintendo issued official Nintendo Player's Guide for Super Metroid.
Yes.
In fairly respectable condition, actually.
Yes.
And man, it's beautiful just to flip through. Like, it's got some
Did
gorgeous artwork in it.
Did you have the original one? Did you ever see it? Or did you ever buy it when you got Super Metroid? Or you just never have it?
I never had it.
Okay.
And like I said, it was given to me. And like I said, it is in shockingly good shape.
Okay. My cousin when he brought the game, he brought the strategy guide. So, and it's so good to look at because they got all the maps, they got the artwork of the bosses and everything. And I remember going to my grandma's house every day to play Super Metroid. And unless I needed the book to help me find a place that I needed to go, I would not look at that book. I will only look at it if I finish a part.
Yeah, dude, check out that artwork. That is just fantastic.
Yes.
Just old school awesome. So, but yeah, so I came across that. I thought it had been lost to the ages. And I had been very sad about that for a while, anytime I had thought about it and couldn't find it. And lo and behold, it was fucking buried in my basement, and it has been recovered, and this makes me excited again. So that was a cool thing that I did while I was cleaning the house this weekend. So anyways, but yeah, a little bit of nostalgia. But yeah, that's kind of all that's been going on. Besides
Sony getting a Secret of Mana remake, dude, I was just like, what? I'm super stoked for that coming. Like, that's my February 2018 game. Like, and what's cool is that they're going to use the mini map from the Super Nintendo version. The only one I don't like is Flammy. I don't like his look. And I hope that you could custom change his color because I don't like that he's white. I thought he was like gold in the game of Super Nintendo or pink or something.
I wouldn't count on getting to change anything important like that. So,
yeah. So, but yeah, I didn't. Did you watch the? I think it was 20 minutes of gameplay or more gameplay with Samus Returns from Gamescom. I didn't check it out. I didn't get a chance to look at it.
No, the only thing I saw was what I'm assuming at this point is probably the last trailer that are putting out for it, and that's it. Like, I want to know as little as humanly possible at this point. Like, I don't want to know any more than I already did coming off of E3. I just want anything else to surprise me. Normally, I would be all about show me everything to do with it, but
yeah.
I want the blind experience. I am shutting down, my digging into it until it's in my hands.
And it comes out on payday too. 3 more weeks. Yes, September is just busy, dude. Like.
Also, I'm half a month away. Where the fuck is my picture of the inside of my Samus 3DS? I want to see what it looks like.
Nintendo's all planning that. They're not going to reveal it just yet.
This is horseshit. I want that red-orange with the green buttons. Make it happen.
I don't think they're going to have it. I would love to see that, but I don't think it's going to happen.
It won't be that hard. Come on. Stop dying of the plague, Eddie.
Help me. I know, I think, is it Thursday or something? I think that Taco Bell Xbox One thing is happening with the $5 box.
What? Why are we talking about Taco Bell? Stop it.
Because Taco Bell looks good. That $5 box would be a lifesaver.
Oh, God.
So, I actually have to work overnight Thursday night. Because they're releasing the new Star Wars toys. And Legos. Dude, there's a lot of stuff. But it's not for a movie. So I'm thinking a cartoon or it's just a new line. Because I'm like, okay, we got this early, but for a midnight release, I think most of our midnight releases have been Star Wars related. Because we did one for The Force Awakens. And we didn't do one for Rogue One. I don't think there was one for Rogue One. I think they just brought the toys out. But for the Force Awakens, they did like a countdown and everything. And then,
I'm sure.
And then they did like a midnight release. And it was funny because our midnight release was just like from 12 to 12:15. That's all the customers we had. And then from 12:15 to 1 o'clock, we didn't have nobody. But shit, we got paid for it. And like we got paid for 4 whole hours. And like we get double time after 10 o'clock. So
He's looking at me like, look, you want to pay me? Okay.
So we got a lot of stuff that we got to put out. We just been getting this stuff ready. But I didn't even know that they were doing a midnight release. But then I realized like September 1st is a big day for toys. So it's like they'll have Star Wars, and I don't know how the Lego Star Wars look just yet, but I'll actually find out that Thursday night. We're not able to open them or anything, so we don't know what we did open some of the boxes because when they first came, they didn't have no street date on them, and so the new boxes that they sent to us now have street dates on them. So, and it was that company's fault. I think Hasbro. I think it was their fault that they end up having to change the box because they was in the stores that Star Wars stuff, but putting no dates on it. So,
whoops.
Yeah. I do have to ask Michael about this Transformer called Twin Twizzle or something like that.
Yep, you'd be the one to talk to.
Yeah, because we've been getting phone calls about it, and so story time. I get a phone call Thursday, and
holy shit, you get phone calls?
Yes, I got phone calls. And so, and this is a white person, everybody. I'm just going to tell the race because this is just like idiotic that this happened. So
why is it got to be a race thing with you, Eddie? Jesus.
Because only white people, literally, when you white people do some stupid stuff, and I'm gonna let y'all know when y'all do some stupid stuff and y'all do some stupid stuff, we know we ignorant. We accept that. But when y'all do some stupid stuff, y'all gotta be called out on it. So,
go on. Tell
your
racist story.
And I don't care. Listen to past.
Yeah, you're about to bite on that one too, weren't
you? Hold on, look. I'm like this. Listen to the past episodes and see who's the real racist.
What are you implying here, Eddie?
I love you, Papa. No, I just get it. But this man calls, and so he's asking us about this Transformer, and it's not online, and we don't have it in store. And he's been probably calling for weeks and weeks, and I haven't seen it. So I told him no, we don't have it. He was just like, well, can you check other stores? I'm like, other stores don't have it. We are not going to carry that one because if it was and it was exclusive to us, we would have already had it. So he kept like, okay, sure, yeah. Well, I just want to let you know that's why your numbers are low and you guys are going to go out of business. Okay, bye. And I was just like, wait, we're going to go out of business because we don't sell a Transformer that you have constantly been calling about almost every day, every week?
If it makes you feel any better, I get people using that same kind of logic, and I work in insurance. So that kind of stupidity knows no bounds.
Right. And if we do go out of business, then you definitely won't get your Transformers. So what logical sense does that make?
At this point, why the hell have you not just gone online to get it, you idiot?
Because he doesn't want to pay the $300 to $500 if someone do have it, and that's what they're charging.
Yeah, if it's already that high online, then trust me, dude, you're not going to find it in a fucking store. Which reminds me, did you score your SNES Classic pre-order, by the way?
We are not doing pre-orders.
Really?
Yes.
Did you personally get a pre-order online?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Sad. I actually managed to snag one of the Amazon pre-orders.
Sweet.
I happened to be online at just the weird, stupid middle of the night and scrolling through Facebook and saw a post. It's live. I get in there and I check it. No shit. and I managed to grab one before it was gone.
Yeah. Um. We
So get hype.
yes. We're actually going to try to get one on February Friday. When I'm in Ohio. But at this point in time, no. We don't know. I know there's been reports saying that your best bet is probably going to Toys R Us to actually get one. But Nintendo said there'll be enough for stores that people could walk in and buy it.
Yeah, I don't know if I buy that.
Oh yeah, trust me. I think Nintendo has has known to learn their lesson. It's just that I think the demand. Reason why I say that is I think the demand is still high, and I kind of want to talk to you about this. Why people got upset about the pre-orders are being gone, but with Xbox One, didn't nobody make a complaint? All of the Project Scorpio ones are sold up. Some people said they still have some. I think some stores still have some, and I know they're going back up in September for just a regular one. But there was no complaints. I'm like, wait a second. So you complain that the Super Nintendo pre-order is unavailable because people want it, but with the Xbox One X, no one said a word. Everybody's just like, got me a pre-order.
You really want to know why? Because I can tell you, it's a simple answer.
Go ahead, please tell.
One X isn't designed to be something that they sell for a couple of months and then stop manufacturing.
Yeah, but you would think for people who didn't care about OX that there would still be a ton of pre-orders, that nobody would be trying to buy it.
Yeah, you may not get a pre-order, but it's not going to be a hard thing to get your hands on with just a little bit of time. The SNES Mini, though, is going to be an enormous pain in the ass because, there's so many people out there that are scalping as many pre-orders as they can for the purpose of turning around and jacking the price to fuck everybody that it's a problem. And no matter how many you put out there, it's gonna be a problem. Because the simple fact of the matter is we already know that it's only going to be in production for a handful of months and then it's gone again. That's it. There will be no more. And so that makes it the ideal thing for the scalpers to go after. On the other hand, any of the major consoles as they are right now, not an issue because you know what? Those companies are going to keep manufacturing it.
But
it's not that hard.
But you know what? The scalpers they did that with PlayStation 3 and didn't nobody buy it. Someone was trying to do one for $1,000. I'm like, you an idiot if you ever played that. And then I think maybe 2 weeks after, they were at Best Buy, fully stocked and people just like, well, whatever.
Mm-hmm. I mean, even the scalping of the Switches is almost completely gone. I mean, they're not super readily in stock, but it doesn't take much work to find one. Yeah, you got to put in a little effort, but at this point in time, 6 months, 6 months in, you're fairly hard pressed to not find one. So, it's one of those things that scalping on a new mainline console is only going to be profitable for so long. At that point, production will catch up with demand and your window of opportunity is gone. The SNES Mini, on the other hand, that window is infinite because the window of production is extremely small.
Well, I wonder if they still had the NES Mini still in production and people were able to get one, will people with the pre-orders still go out as quickly with the SNES?
Probably. More than likely, just because of what happened last time.
Okay.
I'm willing to bet.
Okay. Because even with PSVR, pre-order sold out and no one complained about that. So it's very weird. I'm like, for people who said that, Nintendo's going to be is a old company that's dying out and all of this stuff, people are sure to make that company money compared to the other two. It's very weird.
Yeah.
Like, shoot, I don't even think the PS Pro, if that went up for a pre-sale, didn't really get that much attention. So,
yeah. Again, too, though, with something like that, you are appealing to a limited market, and so that's got to be a contributing factor as well.
Yeah, that is true. That really is true. But yeah, hopefully I'll be able to get one on the 29th. And
as a side note, not that he's listening, but to that asshole that was posting on the NVC forums about, his 13 SNES Classic pre-orders that he managed to snag, fuck you. You are part of the problem, you fucking twat.
I wonder, did he put it under different names?
I don't know, but he apparently had a whole bunch of them. Like, this dude was posting fucking receipts and everything. I'm like, fuck you. Why are you a prick? Like, I get it, it's free market, but seriously?
That's like what?
Go. I know. I'm slightly conflicted because, I have great respect for capitalism and, the free market economy, but still, dick move.
Well, I think that's
at the very least, if you're going to do that, don't sit there and be a shithead and rub it in the faces of other people who want it.
I think that's why a lot of people are just like with eBay and like with eBay and even with GameStop or with Amazon. I think if anyone's trying to put up a pre-order online, or if they do get the system and they're trying to resell it, I think that stuff should be blocked.
Amazon's doing some of that, and eBay's doing some of that.
Well, I think it should be blocked the time that they get, even when they get their system, you cannot resell it until this production is gone. Once the production run of the Super NES Mini is gone, then you guys could put it on. Like I would say 2 months after the production is done. So that February, you guys could put it on. And I feel like that's only fair. Because if Amazon gets some more, no one's going to be trying to buy your $400 Super NES Mini. Like, if anyone,
but the minute Amazon gets more, they're going to be gone in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, like, what game are you really trying to play on the Mini besides Star Fox 2? Like, that's the only reason why I actually need the Mini. I'm like, I played everything else on here. Like, you don't got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Turtles in Time, so that's not a big factor. I got Secret of Mana, and then I'm gonna have the new version, or if I want to order the collection from Japan and play the import, I could do that because, Secret of Mana 3's not on there. You don't got Secret of Evermore on there. So, like, a lot of, besides what, F-Zero?
Well, F-Zero, you've got your Mario Kart, you've got your Super Mario World, Super Metroid's on there. This will make me a happy clam as always. One more reason to go back and play it again. Something to be said for playing it with an actual Super Nintendo controller as well.
Right.
So I can greatly appreciate that.
And I could see if, cause they're not going to be Bluetooth. I don't think, right? I think they're going to be.
No, they're wired. They're wired.
Cause it would be cool to
have. I'm okay with.
I mean, it would be cool to have a Bluetooth Super Nintendo controller to play on your Switch. I think that would be cool because the thing about it is, if Nintendo, like, I would want the Nintendo I would like the Super Famicom over the Super Nintendo. Besides playing Star Fox 2, if I find a friend who got it, or even if I come to your house, I'm like, let me play Star Fox 2. And then everything else would be like, okay, that's it. Like, besides F-Zero, you gonna kill me in that game. But other than that, right? Like, other than that, I play Super Metroid. Heck, I still got it on my Wii U and my Wii. Like, we could run through Super Metroid without no problem. I beat that so many times. I beat The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. Like, I beat, like, maybe a whole bunch of those games. And I own them already on my Nintendo platforms. So it don't do me for missing it out. You know, yeah, it's a nice novelty, but I'm not getting anything really big out of it. But I am planning to get one. I'm going to make sure that I get one, and I'm not going to pay over the amount that needs to be paid to get one.
Yeah. No, I know too. There are people that are just posting about the fact that they're resigned to the fact they will never have an NES Mini Classic in their lifetime. Not for what anybody is asking for it anymore because of the short production run. And I'm sure we'll see more of that a year down the line from the SNES Classic.
Like, if they come in regularly, like every week or every 2 weeks, I think it would be fine. I think they're, I don't know who they're going through with their production, but hopefully that the production really have enough for them to send out, and they'll be able to ramp it up if needed. So, because if it ends up on the shelf and it starts collecting dust, that's a problem. Then they made too much, you know.
I don't think it'll happen.
I mean, if
they will sell out of every unit they've got.
Well, yeah.
So, but Eddie, pimp your shit.
Yeah, you guys can follow me on Twitter at that retro. You guys can find me on Twitter at that retro code. You can hear my podcast, Optional Opinion, on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play. You can check out the link at ngrradio.com, and also check it out at the Anomalous Radio Network.podbean.com. You also, I'm getting ready for the Beauty of Video Games on my Optional Opinion blog on IGN.com. Just look up Anime, ENIME. It's gonna start the second week of September. So not this week and not the following week. I think it's hold on one second. It's the week of the 11th, so September 11th. Actually, September 10th, because the intro is going on that Sunday. So, to start everything off, I got some great guests, and that's gonna be on it. I had my special guest giving a eulogy. We had a good talk, man. Like almost 2 hours, and it was so good talking to him about it. So you guys will be able to hear that one on September 30th. That's the closing for the project. Check out more of World 11 Podcast at shoutengine.com. Follow us on Twitter at World1_1 Podcast. I believe that's the Twitter.
Yep.
You can email the show at world11podcast@gmail.com. Go ahead, Larry. You can plug the rest.
You cover most of it. Shout Engine, iTunes, Google Play Music, YouTube on NGR Radio's channel. Find us every Monday. We're here. We're around. Hit like on the Facebook page. Also make sure you check out the NGR Facebook page and all the fun NGR groups that are out there as well if you want to get on some conversation.
Oh, and a good question for you, because you still got my record. You're downloading. You're going to get the update, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to stream some of it or anything?
Quite possibly.
Okay.
Possibly. We'll see what's happening at that point in time.
Yeah, because I want to see what things that they fix, and I want to see that new content, how it is.
I may actually start record from scratch at that point.
Okay.
It's been so long since I stopped playing it. I'm probably just better off starting it from scratch anyways, because I'll have completely forgotten what the fuck I was doing.
Oh, shoot. I hear you. I know I was at the end part of the game, and I had to collect some more cores to get further up in the thing. I hated that part of the game.
Yeah, it's a little... God, it definitely harkens back to Spyro, the old original Spyro, where you've got to collect everything to finish. I'm like, really? You're gonna make me find the one fucking gem that I missed somewhere 13 hours ago that's probably hiding on top of something that you can't see, and you're just gonna wander around. God, fuck you.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna try to stream Friday. If you guys want to check it out, it's the Lyrical One on Twitch. I think I'm gonna try to stream a Xbox game, something. I think I might do Rise of the Tomb Raider. I might want to stream that one. If not, I might do the Division or something, or might actually go back to Resident Evil 4. You know, just do something for fun. I might do it this Friday. So if you guys want to check it out, come on. I'll put the link out on ngrradio.com. You guys can check me out.
So, yeah, that's it, guys. We'll see you next week.
All right, and see you guys, next time. Bye.
Peace.